Hey guys, so I wanted to create this quick little Worldpainter tutorial on how to make farmland. So I quickly painted this map and I actually did some setup, got it already. So I'm basically going to show you what I did. So first of all, you're going to make an empty ground cover layer. So first do that. I already have some presets, so I'm just going to pick that and then show you what I did. So go to edit. Now here you see the settings I used. I'll remove them for a second just to show you what I did. So the first one, I basically, this normally is dirt, no poppies if I'm not mistaken, so I changed that to the whatever farm block you want, so I changed this to wheat. Make sure you put the age to 7 so they're fully grown. And then I put the count to 3. You could also do this too, but I personally prefer 3. And then you add an empty air layer, or basically an air layer, and put this lower than the wheat layer, so I put this at 2. You could also do 1 and then 2 for the other one, just what you prefer. Now you gotta be sure to put this on layers, because if you do noise like this, you see it's utter mess. So make sure to put this on layers and then change the angles on the X and Y axis. If you keep this at 0, it's just gonna look like this. Also make sure to have the repeat option finked on. 45 is basically just a 45-degree angle. I put 20-45, I just like this design. It's basically like 3 blocks each time. So you're done here. Make sure the thickness is set to 1. It should naturally be 1. And then give this whatever name you want. So I already did this, so I'm gonna cancel this. Next step is making the farmland that's gonna be placed beneath it, right? So get the farmland, edit this, and then put this at the same angle as you put the wheat field, so 45-30 for me. I'm pretty sure I added the other farmland, so that's why it's not correct. I did a quick cut here. But the original wheat farm and this one are linked up. They're both at 45-30. So don't get confused here. So put the farmland on the top and corsé the dirt on the second row, because you want it to be the same as for the wheat field. And this needs to be placed at -1 because you want this to be in the ground exactly. So after doing this, give it a name, and then just place it. So I'm gonna show you how to basically make this. So first brush in the normal farmland, then get the one that is tilted, and make sure to only on wheat farm. So now you basically got it done. That's basically what you need to do. But I wanted to show a little bit more, so I made 2 versions. So this is the actual wheat farm version you saw in the beginning, so that's why I said don't get confused. Like you said, this is 20-45. So this is basically the same setup as the other one. You could also just change this to anything else, potatoes, carrots, whatever you like, right? Another thing I added to add a little detail is some weeds, and I added a lot of trees, or at least some trees, but I'll get back to that in a second. First I want to show you how I did the weeds. So what I did is I made another ground cover layer, this one with grass, fern and azure bluets, and put these at 2, 2 and 1. That's basically what I liked. So these are basically meant to be weeds, so your crops are a little bit overgrown, or they're not perfect, you know, otherwise it gets really repetitive. So this needs to be a thickness 1 as well. And how I brush these in is using the what is called spray paint. So just put the intensity to 1%. I don't know why I changed the rotation, I'm an idiot. And make sure this is only at the correct layer. Just press the button once and there should be a few there right now. And then remove the layers that are under. So you have the wheat farm right now, you want that to be gone. So now just select wheat and right click to remove. You don't need to increase or decrease intensity or whatever. I'm pretty sure you don't even need the pencil tool, this will always work, but just to be safe I'll recommend doing it. And remove the farmland, and as you can see right now, if I remove the weeds, it's grass underneath. So that's that. I also added a little walls just for a little bit of extra detail. These are basically all just custom objects. So I added these by basically accept on and then the layer that I don't want them to be on, so weed feeds, and then just brushing them around, sometimes skipping a little area, whatever. So I did these really roughly, but you could take a little bit longer for these. It's faster than doing it in game, so whatever you prefer. And now I also added a little bit of pathway between the other farms, but that's not really necessary, just because I wanted an actual proper scene to show, you know. Other thing I did with the birch trees, which I'm gonna show in a second, is this. Alright, so I brushed in a few birch trees, so I removed the original layer birch trees that was on top of the farmland, and then brushed in a few 100% spots. So I'm gonna show you what I did. So you gotta use only on again. Layer should be wheat farm. I accidentally did wheat farm 2 instead of wheat farm. So there you go. And then also do it on the ferns or on the weeds, because you don't want them there. And right click to remove. Yeah, you should actually also do it on the stone. I actually forgot that here. On the stone walls, if you use those. So just brush in a few trees back in, and you'll see in game what's gonna happen next. So I'm gonna export this, and I'm gonna see you guys in game in a second. So here I am in game with shaders on, of course, just for a little bit of extra cleanliness. And as you can see, these just go perfectly straight into one direction, so great lines. And like I said, these are 3 wide by 2. You could also make them 2 by 1 or 3 by 1, whatever you like, by just changing the amount of wheat or tilted or air, in this case wheat or air. And they should perfectly align with your tilted ground and your cursed dirt, as long as you put them in the same order. There are a few bits and pieces of grass in there, of course. The fences are around. There's a few birch trees spawned within there, and this is the one I did in the little tutorial here. So you could basically extend these as far as you want, it doesn't really matter. And I was actually planning on using this for a little speed build later on, which I'm hoping to bring out this week. Using this as a basic paint for a big farmland kind of map with a river going through it and whatever. So yeah, that's why I wanted to experiment with this, and seeing as it worked really well, I thought I'd show you. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks for watching.